Good morning, boys and girls. This is Coastal, also known as Marventus. For the love of crap, I said good morning again. It's actually in the middle of the afternoon. Darkness has started to fall in the United Kingdom of England, and I have been away from my frapsing for a little bit too long. Now, the reason I've been doing that is because I've been down with the worst cases of fever and cold you can imagine, and then some. But I seem to be bouncing back a little bit, so I've decided to pop up a video for you today. And fellas, I have got an odd one for you here. This is absolutely one of the craziest ZvZs I've ever played in, so here you go. In the bottom left hand corner as the red Zerg we have Mr. Adco, my opponent. In the top right hand corner as the blue Zerg I have myself, of course. Now, I started out nice and normal, droning away. Even though I'm up against a Zerg, I don't do a too early scout, I do a 10 supply scout. And he will be heading down shortly. In the meantime, Mr. Adco appears to be going for an early cheese. He's got his spawning pool up and running nice and early at 6. So let's see how this goes. Now, I tend to be a little bit, well, shall we say frivolous, with my scouting even against Zerg, because I do tend to manage to survive this. And I did survive it here as well, and it's this complete weirdness that happened after that that is the funny part of this game. But the whole purpose of this cast, in line with my tutorial work on the channel in general, is to show how not panicking is a good thing. So here we go, my spawning pool going up at 11 supply. And I should have a drone heading down to, actually got a little late with my drone scouting here. I haven't sent down a scout. Oh yes, I have. I have scouted his base down here. I can see what's going on. You'll notice that his Zerglings, and this is some Bronze League fun for you right there, ran right past my drone without killing it. Which is all good and fun, because he must have rallied them there. So I've got a whole bunch of Zerglings coming my way. Let's see how much this is. This is, yeah, I got my 6. This is a 6 Zergling rush. My spawning pool about to get down. Let's see how this goes. I can see it coming, of course, because I saw it coming the moment he left the base. Let's get a production tab up. What am I doing? I'm producing an Overlord and a bunch of, Zerglings and a Queen. So let's see how these 6 Zerglings do. I get all of my drones on them. They take down a few of the Zerglings, but all of my drones disappear in the mix. So now there's 3 Zerglings left, and my Zerglings pop out just then at full health, take down the remaining Zerglings. Okay, there we are. Now we have a few more heading our way right here, 2 more. Those get taken down too. Now I've got 3 Zerglings, I've got a spawning pool, and I got nothing else. Queen about to pop out. I start droning up immediately. Right, I'm not at this point. I actually had a friend of mine on vent while this was happening, and he was wondering whether I was going to GG out of this. I decided not to. I just kept right on going. So here's my Queen hammering away at one of his Overlords. He's got another 6 Zerglings heading my way, and would you bloody believe it, my drone is still freaking standing there, and he hasn't done anything to it. So here we go, back at my base. I've started to get a few drones out. Now I've got 7 Zerglings and a Queen of my own, so I think I am good as far as defense is concerned. So I saw how much Zerglings were heading my way. And this is the important thing, don't panic. Am I producing Zerglings? I am not. I'm producing drones, because that's what I need. I've got enough Zerglings. Here we go. In they come, and soon do they die. My Queen and Zerglings doing their work perfectly well. Drones unharmed, and what am I doing? I'm producing a couple more Zerglings now. Right, because there's even more headed my way. Oh, it's just 4 there that time, actually. And my drone is still hanging out at his base. So let's see how this goes. Now I've got almost a line's worth of Zerglings. I've got a Queen. I've got all the defense I need. It's time to complete the droning up procedures. I'm droning up as fast as I can, popping out 1 whenever I have 50 minerals available. And he's droning up a little bit as well, because his drone level is frankly not impressive at this stage. Here we go. Here we have a bunch of Zerglings skirtling my base, coming down the other side. Neither of us producing anything right now. Not sure why. I'm not... oh yeah, I've got no minerals. There we go, another 2 drones coming out there. These Zerglings dealt with pretty quickly as well. None of my drones died. Everything's cool. So now begins the full droning up process. He stops at this point. Not doing a whole lot here. He's got an Overlord flying over there for some reason. Now I'm sitting here thinking, what do I do? Well, most important thing, I need to ensure that I drone up properly. So I'm going to continue my droning work. He's taking a drone over here. And I actually missed this drone running by, because otherwise I would have known this. He's taken a drone over here because he wants to set up a hatchery at his gold expansion. So he's not expanding to his natural, he's expanding to the gold. Now theoretically, not a shabby idea. What do? I took my ignored drone and I started creating a spine crawler right in the center of his base. The center edge of his base. This has some pretty hilarious results, I can tell you. I've got another queen popping out. I actually hit him by accident, but what the hell, or hit her rather. And yet more drones. You'll notice I'm not actually pulling any units right now, because I don't know exactly what it's doing, and I can't spare any units to go look around, because I'm focused on getting my drones out and this spine crawler running. But I noticed when the spine crawler popped and started attacking that he wasn't actually doing anything to defend himself. And I saw that there was nothing in this area, so I grabbed my zerglings, and I sent them all down there to have some fun. While my queens worked up on the lavaing. Now let's see how I'm doing. I've got almost 1.5 rows of drones on the way. He's got his hatchery almost finishing at the gold. And he's got, he's just over 1.5 rows there himself. Now I've managed to get the hatchery down to just 60% health all by his own damn self, this particular spine crawler. And now he's getting attacked by a couple of zerglings that are soon made nonsense out of. And now the queen has popped out. And just in time, my zerglings are heading out there. So here they come, surround the queen, take her down in no time. And then it's down with that hatchery. Now all this time, he's got his gold up, which I have currently not seen. He's producing his first couple of drones there as well. And now all these drones are moving. Now here I made a bit of a mistake. Oh, actually no I didn't, because they stopped moving and started attacking the spine crawler. And my zerglings are running around making short work of these drones. So these almost a row's worth of drones actually successfully managed to take down my attacking force here. But I took down quite a few of their drones as well. So I only got 4 left. So I noticed at this point that nothing, he wasn't revealed. So clearly there was another hatchery somewhere. But I didn't get too busy about that right now, because I still had my droning work to do. But I produced a bunch of zerglings. I decided to send them on a little expeditionary foray to find out what the hell was going on. In the meantime, my mineral count looking solid, too much even. Nothing happening on gas. So it was time to put a few people on there. In the meantime, where are my zerglings going? I've got a zergling running around here looking for that base that I know I've missed. Let's see what's going on in his gold expansion. So in the meantime, he's gotten his gas. His hatchery is up, drones are up, and they're droning away, so his economy should be reasonably sound. Second gas going up now as well. However, not much else going on. No units whatsoever. Now I could probably have walked in with my bunch of zerglings and finished him off at this point, had I known this. But I decided to be on the little cautious side and make sure I'm still droning up and armoring up a little bit more before I go off and do it. So far I have not discovered his hatchery. All I have is this zergling running around the place here, seeing that there is nothing up there, nothing over here. So the next stop is down here. So let's see what happens then. In the meantime, what do we have? We've got 2 queens. We've got lava production going nicely. We've got drone production going nicely. Back up to 2 rows. Remember that at one point there were absolutely no drones here. So in preparation, I'm getting up a roach warren, just in case I need to amass some sort of defensive army, and my zergling has now discovered the base and can see the lair tech up. So I know that that we're now expecting to see some form of Mutalisk play. So I was busy thinking how to react to this, and start out by slicking down my own hatchery while my zerglings go off to do some havoc wrecking over here. And I need to find a way to react to this Mutalisk threat, basically. I start out my initial reaction by plopping out an extra queen, which will be out in a moment. And my zerglings have now arrived and the gold expansion. Let's see how they do. Taking down a few units there. The drones coming in to finish off those zerglings. And yes, they all go down. But not without cost though. So let's see. He's now down to just at one row and a little bit of drones. But he's doing alright. Now the lair has popped and larva's popped as well. So the queen managed to infect a little bit before she died. My second hatchery rather, about to be done now. Third queen has popped. No, still second queen. Where is my third queen? I think I built it slightly later than I thought. But I'm taking up the lair as well to get some base defenses and get a hydralisk den out so I can deal with this situation. But now his lair is already up. His spire should be on the way. There it is. It's about to get started there. So this is going to be a close one. A close one indeed. So this game really ended in the most amazing hilarity, by the way. It's just complete craziness. Have I gotten my speed yet? I have not. I should be getting that any second now as well. It's a race here. My lair, his spire. Right, now I could have reacted a little bit faster than this, but I was being a little bit cautious. I sent a few more Zerglings out to do some patrolling, and in my expansion I've got a couple of drones sitting around doing absolutely nothing, which I should be discovering any second now. What's fascinating is that it didn't show up as free drones in my game icon. There usually is an icon for this, but no, they didn't actually. They just sat around doing absolutely nothing. We have a few roaches out now. But nothing's attacking us, of course. Evo chamber going up because I need to get some spore crawlers for some base defense. And in the meantime, let's see how he's doing. His spire is just done. I'm getting my metabolic boost. Now, when are his mutalisks about to start popping out? Got some Zerglings finishing off the base over here. There we have 3 mutalisks about to pop out. So he's gotten his queen out as well now. So any moment now, I need to be expecting my mutalisk attack, the mutalisk harassment. Now so far Evo chambers up, but I have not yet started building any of my spore crawlers, which should be happening any second now. Notice that during the entire period my droning has not stopped. Now I've got 2 full rows, and here these guys are still hanging out. My goodness, bit of noobness going on here, not having detected this for such a long time. There we are, finally getting into action just because I say so. I have a queen coming down here to infect some lava. Here my patrolling Zergling is running to the remaining base points to make sure he's not expanding into any of those areas, so that I know that he's limited to the 1 base. And he is now trying to do a 1 base muta build of some sort. And in return, what am I doing? I'm getting some upgrades to my missile attacks because I know I'm going to be popping out hydralisks any second now. We have my first spore crawler on its way up at the main base. Second one on its way up at the main base. And at the auxiliary base I currently have no defenses other than this queen. So this next bit gets pretty damn interesting, because he grabs his 6 mutalisks. Oh, what is it now actually? It's it's 8, 9, 10 mutalisks, and he starts to head out to attack me. Now in this attack a lot gets delayed. His attack gets delayed by quite a lot, giving me a large amount of opportunity to get base defenses up around my main base, even though the second one was, I simply didn't have time to get that rolling, and therefore these drones were somewhat wasted. Right, but if you look at the first attack round now, here come his mutas. They're doing a run by, about to come through over here to attack on the base, and coming across my patrolling Zerglings, they stop and start attacking them, which is terrific. So he's running around after my speedlings trying to nuke them, which was terrific. Bought me a nice bunch of seconds. In the meantime, my spore crawler's finished, and now he's coming around to attack my base. Although for some reason he's taking a look at this area first. So this base, unfortunately, my second hatchery has absolutely no defenses up yet. Spore crawlers are not ready in time. That queen goes down so fast there wasn't even time to think about saving her. And now he's taking down all of my drones there as well. The first spore crawler got up, but only managed to inflict some damage before the second spore crawler got taken down. And now my roaches start running off. So he starts chasing them because I went straight for his base. And quite wisely he came chasing after them. I stopped halfway and started running them back to my main base because hydralisks were, actually spore crawlers were up at that base now. Third one now in the front as well, and the queen, and a second queen about to pop out as well. I had the defenses I need. So I was hoping that the mutalisks would follow me back. But they actually came right back here to pick off some Zerglings that were picking at the base that I had run in directly after that as well. So some nice harassment going on here on the mineral line. So I actually managed to wipe out his entire mineral production while he was busily chasing my roaches. That's some nice stuff. But now suddenly, this is getting dangerous because almost 18 mutalisks This is just a Mutalisk fleet, really. It's a fleet of Mutalisks. A killer fleet, I tell you. So he comes back now. I popped up to Queen for, and in my haste to create a Spore Crawler, I've created a Spine Crawler. Oh my goodness. That's just useless, isn't it? Completely useless. So that hatchery is going down. But at this point, I'm actually not doing anything spectacular because I managed to get a Hydralisk den out in the meantime and pop out 4 Hydras. I'm keeping everything bunched up nice and close. Where 1, 2, 3 Spore Crawlers and 3 Queens are plenty of defense against all of that. And look how this goes. He walks in with 2 lines worth of mutas, and they are getting completely destroyed. Although he did manage to take down all 3 of my Queens, because in this mess I couldn't click on them to transfuse. But he managed to get away with 3 mutas, which he just hung out with in the front of my base, just like that. So there we go. I had more or less survived. Now the question is what to do now. So I'm tossing out a little bit more armies and trying to figure out when the right time to bust into this base is. Now at this point I didn't, since the Zerglings were busy killing here while I was fighting over there, I actually didn't realize I had wreaked such havoc on his mineral line. So he actually had no lava, a bunch of drones, and quite a little gas, so he couldn't actually build any more mutas. So he was busy trying to drone up and get his economy back in line, while I had all the time in the world then to figure out how to move from here. So I decided to amass a little bit of an army before I decided to venture out, just in case he did have something sitting around, and I'm busy getting some upgrades in the meantime. So now my roaches are at 1-1. My Hydras are already at 1-1, and their ranged is about to be upgraded as well. Spore Crawler still standing. All good so far. Drone count 2 lines and decent. Gas count looking pretty poor. So I had to saturate both gases to keep up with that. And I just ignored getting a second base at this point. Now he starts putting down 2 more bases. He had the mineral count for it, so good plan there. So I can't sit around doing nothing forever, because I knew something was going to happen. But I just wanted to make sure I had a reasonable army before heading out, so not as to be surprised by anything. And I had the mineral count I now needed to get things up and running nicely, so at this point it was just amass a small size army, go out there and nuke the hell out of whatever was there. So to figure out exactly what was there, I decided to send out an overseer with a changeling, and potentially put some corruption on, not corruption, rather the, what is it called? Contaminate on the spire. But when I got the overseer in there, I noticed he has absolutely no units. Not the overseer, I meant the changeling, of course. He has absolutely no units, and it's creating a roach warren. So I decided, well, I can't wait until that gets done. It's now or never. So as you notice, I even stopped production here. It's a spawning pool, actually, not a roach warren, sorry, a spawning pool. So I grabbed all of my army that I had produced at the moment and forayed out, getting rid of these mutas to start with, and then heading down to his expansion to nuke it out, because there wasn't anything there at all, which was really rather an unexpectedly pleasant surprise. So here we go, let's see how this works out. Couple of mutas popping out there. They get nuked right away. And then the drones and the hatchery follow soon after. Oh, actually, I focused down the spire first, which of course is a good plan. I love the way these Zerg buildings die, by the way. I mean, that is just totally cool. Splotch, it says, and it's dead. Right, that's the spawning pool gone. Down goes the lair. And now the guy has got only 11 of 62 supply, and those are presumably the overlords, along with a few zerglings potentially somewhere. Oh, drones. Yeah, it's got some droning going on here. So now it's a question of figuring out where the other bases were. So I decided to start off by running to the gold expansion, I think, and working my way back here. Look how slow these guys move outside of creep. I mean, it's amazing. They're off on a dawdling little walk here, feeling a tad bit cocky. And I've stopped all production. Now, you shouldn't really do this. You shouldn't stop all production, because you might be surprised by all kinds of weirdness. But I had apparently gotten too focused on this as it is right now, and then completely stopped all production. So there we go. Nothing there. Heading back over here. Because my Zergling spied these overlords. So I decided to go poach some overlords first. So my main army now consists of 1.5 lines of roaches plus hydralisks. And that's all that was necessary to pull this off. I had a drone coming here by accident, so I decided to wind up building a hatchery there anyway. But these overlords don't last long. They're nuked down, so the next step was then to come back and check if these two areas had been repopulated, which indeed they had. Actually got some nice population going on there. It's got some good droning happening there, it's got some good droning happening there, but he has absolutely no armies, and no queens for lava. And there we are. I don't know why he didn't pop out queens though, because he got absolutely loaded with minerals. But there you go, he got a little bit too cocky there. I spied the hatchery on the way up the bridge and then changed my mind and went back down here. So there goes that hatchery, and at this point he decides to GG out of the game because he knows that he has lost. So there you are, completely crazy game. He did a weird 6 pool followed by an extremely odd expansion of some sort, and then it was just a completely odd game. Thank goodness I didn't GG out of that 6 pool harassment thing, because that would have been just a complete waste. So there you go, boys and girls. Hope you had an enjoyable viewing. I'll have more of these coming in the next few days. Have a fantastic Christmas. Bye-bye.